is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Monday, October 27, 2025. We're broadcasting to you on E1 SKAR TV N10 and TARZEE TV in Bartica. In headlines, shockwaves ripple through the nation as a gas station explosion kills a 6-year-old girl and injures several others. Police are searching for a foreign national who is suspected of deliberately causing this deadly explosion. Some individuals injured in the explosion have been discharged from the hospital, but others are still receiving medical attention. And in Sport Elite League winning coach Jamaal Shabazz calls on club administrators to step up, and Briton John wins fireworks for a cyclist bring breast cancer awareness into sharp focus. With the news, I'm Vishani Raghaber. Thanks for joining us. A massive explosion rocked the capital city, Georgetown, on Sunday night, and shockwaves are still rippling through the nation. Here's the latest CCTV footage we have received showing the moment the explosion unfolded at the mobile gas station at the corner of Regent and King Streets. We tell you now that police are searching for a man believed to be a Spanish-speaking foreign national who allegedly left 2 suspicious bags at the mobile fuel station at Regent and King Streets, Georgetown, shortly before a powerful explosion killed a 6-year-old girl and injured several others on Sunday night. Early Monday morning, I went back to the incident scene and shared all that we know so far. A powerful explosion erupted from this gas station, the mobile gas station on Regent and King Streets, Georgetown. Now, that explosion killed a 6-year-old girl and injured several others. The little girl who lost her life has been identified as Soraya Bourne. Now, police believe that a Spanish-speaking foreign national may be behind the deadly explosion. Based on investigations so far, which included a review of CCTV footage, the man arrived at this gas station at around 18:15 hours carrying 2 large black bags. He reportedly attempted to dump the bags in a bin, but was stopped by a pump attendant. The man then walked to the southwestern side of the compound near the cages used to store cooking gas cylinders, where he placed the bags on the ground before leaving south along King Street. Over an hour later, there was the explosion. Now, so far, investigators have discovered a 2-foot-wide crater and fragments of black plastic and transparent tape, which have been sent to the police crime laboratory for analysis. Now, President Dr. Finali has since directed that a full investigation be launched into the explosion. And here on the scene, you can see investigators behind me still going. We will provide more information to you as details are made available to us. On Monday afternoon, police said a detailed release on the investigation would be provided at 19 hours Monday. That should be any time now. But as we continue our coverage of this tragedy, we tell you that the newsroom spoke with the mother of 6-year-old Soraya Bourne, the child who died following the explosion at the Mobil gas station on Regent and King Streets, Georgetown. Surrounded by relatives, Samantha Roach recalled the incident and her last moments with her youngest child.
I just leave here so to go buy chicken at KFC. And as I get here, somebody come around and tell us how my niece car just blow up at the gas station. When we rush them to the gas station, already some of them look good. But when we go to the hospital, I keep asking for my child, and they did not answer me. They just ask me over and over, she name and who's who and who's this. They didn't give me no attention about it. All of that when my cousin come, she asks and she go in the room. And when she go in the room, she pass and she see a little foot. She asked the girl for see. The girl said no, she cannot see. Another one pull the door, pull the blind. And when they pull the blind, start to holler out, start to lie down that bed. I keep calling my daughter named Saraya. Born, I want to see my daughter. Nobody is still after. How how after when my niece come and they go in and see the Allah. And when I go in, I see my daughter, I pull church face. That is it. I get blackout, I know nothing. Every Sunday there's what is going by. There's going by the chicken and this come back in the car. 5 of them go in the car. Don't be out of it. She sat by a tablet there. She, who me want though? You going with though? Me godmother buying an Apple tablet for me boy. The tablet cover she never get it. She never get for it. Them saying it's some Spanish man put something. Some people saying it's some leakage you got on the ground. Was a old used to get gas and it was taking all day yesterday something. They just foaming up. And as the car, I don't know where is it. I don't know if it need some type of justice. She too young for get a death like that. I didn't mind if she was sick. I didn't mind if something, but there's a cruel death.
Now, the Georgetown Hospital Corporation, in a statement, also shared some details on the persons who were injured in the explosion. A total of 8 patients were received at the hospital's Accident and Emergency Department at around 19:45 hours Sunday night following the incident. The patients ranged in age from children to older adults. Of the 8 patients, 3 were treated for minor injuries and subsequently discharged after evaluation. 4 patients were admitted, including 2 pediatric patients with significant injuries and 2 adult female patients for observation. And of course, 1 pediatric patient, Raya Bourne, was unfortunately pronounced dead. The 2 pediatric patients with serious injuries underwent emergency surgical procedures and are in the recovery room under close observation. Both patients are critical but stable. And the 2 adult patients, both females, sustained multiple soft tissue injuries to the face, head, neck, and thigh, with one suffering a fracture to the leg. Both remain stable and are closely being monitored. Now, when the news returns, a Guyanese student in Jamaica talks about the situation on the ground as the country braces for Hurricane Melissa. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is the newsroom. Hurricane Melissa, which has become a powerful Category 5 storm, is bearing down on Jamaica and is forecast to be the worst storm in the island's history. Guyanese student in Jamaica, Vijay Sharma, spoke to the newsroom on Sunday night about the situation on the ground and preparations for the storm.
Since about Thursday, the entire country's been kind of on a standstill. So we've known that this hurricane is coming. It's really unprecedented in terms of even Jamaica in terms of hurricanes. The last time a hurricane was projected to make landfall was 12 years ago, and the last time something was Category 5 or of this scale was 37 years ago. So not even really in recent memory with Hurricane Gilbert. So the country's been on a standstill, a little bit of a shutdown. We've been told to stock up on water, on food, non-perishables, things like that. Of course, remain inside as it starts to rain and winds start kicking up. But at the same time, it's been like kind of like we're in a little bit of a bubble because we've known it's coming, but it hasn't reached us yet. So today is the first day that we've really felt hurricane effects. And before it was almost like eerily quiet, like instead of sun or rain, there's just kind of nothing because a hurricane would suck up all the systems around it. So it was kind of just a vacuum in terms of weather. And stores remained open as long as they could, but now today really everything is full shutdown and expected to be so until Tuesday. Many of us are going through our first hurricane. We got a lot of Guyanese students this year at Mona. A few of us went through Beryl before as well, but that was a Category 4 storm. So this is even a larger scale and expected to bisect Jamaica too. It is a nervous time. At the same time, we received a lot of support from especially the alumni, the Guyanese here. There's a large Guyanese community here, so that's been really helpful. But yeah, we're looking kind of timidly towards the future and thoughts and prayers all around. With the Guyana Students Association here, we're a community as well. So those of us who've been through a storm already have been helping those who aren't so familiar go through it. We have a staff advisor here, Dr. Allison Fung, who's important at the university as well. So she's been making sure we're taken care of. And we started to see other countries, they started to either evacuate the students or give them grants or support for assistance. And initially we were worried because we hadn't heard anything from our country, but eventually we did get a response very, very happily this morning from our president, Irfan Ali. He gave me a call this morning to assure us that yes, they're thinking of us. We're spoken for. He has the GDF fund standby and things like that. So I'm very happy to hear from him and very happy to receive his support.
We tell you now that the Betavawacting Kwamina Primary School on the east coast of Demerara was closed on Thursday and Friday as authorities moved to address a persistent pigeon infestation and other concerns affecting students and teachers. Only grade 6 students were allowed back in school and learning materials provided for other students. We have the details in this report.
The Betavawacting Primary School has long been battling a pigeon problem. Droppings have contaminated the premises, and despite cleaning efforts and the installation of mesh to block access, the infestation and other issues persisted. Minister of Education Sonia Parag said that after consultations with the PTA and head teacher, arrangements were made for grade 6 pupils to return to school on Monday. Meanwhile, worksheets will be distributed to other grades to ensure continued learning.
We've made a decisive move to have a breakdown by region as it relates to issues regarding particular schools. And while we will be visiting these schools as well, we will be taking these issues and making some determination and decisions in relation to how we're moving forward in terms of fixing some of the issues.
Parag explained that both short and long-term solutions are being implemented, including the engagement of a contractor who specializes in pigeon control. Specialized pigeon meshing will be installed in targeted areas to prevent the birds from nesting while other repairs are underway.
The contractor has explained to me that he's putting a particular gel on the roof of the school that will also prevent the pigeon infestation. Now, this is a problem that has been explained to me that will not go away overnight, but it will go away hopefully within a short space of time, and over time it will continue to reduce.
Meanwhile, the Environmental Protection Agency is urging residents to stop feeding pigeons, warning that the act is worsening the situation around schools and other public spaces.
This is contributing to the bird population getting out of control. While it may seem kind to feed them, it results in droppings from these birds in excess, and this will trigger allergic reactions, disease, and the birds generally become a pest. So we have to ask residents to refrain from feeding these birds in the vicinity of schools and other public buildings.
It was also revealed that schools at Annandale and Golden Grove have been identified with similar challenges. Minister Parag said that during the Christmas break, the ministry plans to assess and fix such issues at schools to avoid further disruption to learning. For Newsroom, Isanella Patwo.
Minister of Education Sonia Parag has confirmed that the construction of the $2.6 billion state-of-the-art Hosororo Secondary School complex in Region 1 is progressing on schedule, with completion expected by January 2026.
We have about 5 buildings that are being built for the teaching, that's for the classrooms and the labs. 2 of these buildings will be fully completed by November 7th. The contractor is on site. Both contractors are on site. I have the chair of the CDC, the vice chairman, the REO, the REDO. They're all here with me, including staff from the Ministry of Education overlooking this particular project. And we are ensuring that the project will meet the deadline of the 24th of January 2026. Because right now we want to be able to transition our students into this comfortable space in which they can have that learning environment. So the Hosororo School is the complex that is being built here right now is quite a massive complex that is going to comfortably hold 800 students. We are looking at ensuring that all stakeholders are engaged to make that happen. So the contractors have given their commitment to completing the project on time, which is the 24th of January 2026. However, 2 of the buildings of the teaching blocks will be up and ready by November 7th, and we are looking to have the well that is supposed to be drilled next to the school up and also running within another month. But in the meanwhile, we will find solutions to have water into the school with the reservoir that is available to us, and we want to be able to transition students as fast as possible into the new buildings so that they can be in a comfortable space. So that's the update for the Hosororo School. I was pleased to walk through the teachers' quarters. We have 15 of those buildings that are going up, and they are going to be ready in just a few weeks by the end of November. And they are looking quite modern. We want to be able to have our teachers as well in comfortable condition.
Now, when the newsroom returns to financial, weather, and bridge reports, along with sport news, stay with us.
Welcome back to Newsroom. Now for a look at what's happening in sport. We're starting off with some cycling news. The prolific Guyanese cyclist Briton John won the feature race on Sunday afternoon when the Kaichur Attack Cycling Club staged the 4th edition of its fireworks event to coincide with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The 25-lap race took place around the Kingston Seawall Bandstand circuit, attracting a large turnout of riders and spectators for an afternoon of competitiveness, camaraderie, and cycling excellence, all for a good cause. Apart from the main race, which featured the elites, Masters 35 to 49, and the juniors, the opening event catered for the Masters 50 plus and the Category 4 riders, while there was a BMX one-lap derby for the young ones. Here are now some highlights of the final moments as captured by our videographer, Kurt Cadogan.
First place, our very own, Briton John.
Meanwhile, Kaichur Attack Racing has come in for high praises for using the sport of cycling to support the fight against breast cancer. Through its fireworks event around the Seawall Bandstand over the last 4 years, the cycling club has been bringing into sharp focus the awareness campaign around the dreaded disease. On Sunday, the minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, Stephen Jacobs, and visiting riders Liam Luke Trapte of Trinidad and Dominic Howard of Barbados were high in praise for the event. Also sharing comments with the media was president of the club, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Sinclair.
I think these events they're very, very important, but then also the purpose of this event today. The purpose of this event today is to bring some sort of awareness to cancer. And they'll make a donation to the Cancer Foundation and so forth. So I told them just before, is that you're riding with a purpose today. It's not just about competition only, but it's also while you make that pedal forward, or that wheel go forward, that you're riding for persons who've been diagnosed so that they understand that they're not alone. And then also, too, you're riding for persons who have lost, to bring some light to see that they'll always be remembered. So again, beautiful, beautiful initiative here. I'm very, very happy to be here. My first time here. I'm enjoying every bit of it.
So, of course, raising awareness of breast cancer is very important, right? Any cancer in general, raising awareness is very, very important. In terms of the event, very happy to be here again. My last time here was 2023. I have a wonderful time every time I come to Ghana. The people here are very welcoming, is amazing. The community, the guys in the sport, competition is nice. It's always a good time.
As a cyclist, I'm sure that you would have encountered a lot of difficulties, a lot of trials and tribulations. What would be your message to maybe those persons who are suffering with breast cancer directly and indirectly, because of course when someone has that issue, their families are affected as well?
You just honestly have to just reach out. I have a lot of family that has cancer. Well, my family has cancer in it. Honestly, you just have to reach out and just be there for them. So, yeah.
And your thoughts on the atmosphere here today at the Seawall Bandstand?
Sorry?
Your thoughts on the atmosphere here?
Amazing. Everything here so far has been good. I'm honestly looking forward for next year. It's been good.
We have to continue pushing sport along with all of the health hazards that are around. And from a cycling perspective and from the Kaichur Attack perspective, this is what we are doing. So we want to thank all of our sponsors, eNetworks, Farfana Mendez, VNet, Star Party Rental, Rubis Gas, One Guyana, One Communication, One Guyana, and also the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and our main sponsor, Sherwin-Williams, who always jump on board whenever we have these events, as you can see from all the activities and the flyers and the feather flags around. But all in all, we can say cycling is on the rise. We just need to have this unity that you're seeing out here today and the continued push for cycling as a main sports under the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture.
Cricket news: our West Indies defeated Bangladesh by 16 runs to win the opening T20 International in Chattogram on Monday. Shea Hope and Rovman Powell added an unbroken 83 of 46 balls for the fourth wicket, including scoring 51 of the last 3 overs as West Indies posted 165 for 3. Hope ended on 46 of 28 and Powell, playing his 100th T20 International, finished on 44 of 28, both hitting 4 sixes and a 4 each. This was after openers Brandon King with 34 and Alec Atenez with 33 had given West Indies a start of 59 in 8.2 overs. In reply, Bangladesh slipped to 41 for 4 in the power play, and it was always an uphill task from there, eventually being bowled out for 149. Seam pair Jason Holder and Jaden Seals took 3 wickets each, while the left-arm spinner Akil Hussain had 2. Game 2 is on Wednesday from 8 hours Guyana time. Football news: with a flawless season that included 16 wins, 2 drawn encounters and no defeats, Slingers Football Club was officially crowned champions of the Guyana Football Federation's 2025 Elite League, which concluded on Saturday night at the National Training Centre at Providence. Slingers FC, who had taken an unassailable lead at the top of the points table even before the final night of games, drew their last match against the former champions Guyana Defence Force 0-0. In the other game of the night, Police defeated Den Amstel. Our videographer Kurt Cadogan was on hand to capture some highlights of the final game and Slingers' crowning moment. Now, the head coach of Slingers FC, Jamaal Shabazz, has called on club administrators to step up and fulfill the roles they have been entrusted with. Speaking at the conclusion of the Elite League, which his team won by playing unbeaten, Shabazz said the disparity between teams was quite evident and the onus is now on the administrators to rekindle that desire for success among players. Slingers FC, Guyana Defence Force and Police have consistently been the leading teams in recent years of the Elite League, and Shabazz is adamant that administrators have got to find ways of improving their clubs if they are to seriously challenge the top contenders.
It's important that the administration of some of the clubs take a long, hard look of themselves. We all know how to judge a coach. If he don't win matches, the coach is not a good coach. This is what the fans say. If a player miss a goal or a defender get dribbled, the fans say, not a good player. What are the yardsticks that we're using to measure the administrator at club and national team level? The administrators allowed to get away with having mediocre squads, with having no sponsorship for the teams, lack of finance, no facilities. What is then the job of an administrator? The job of the coach is to coach. The job of the player is to play. What are the administrators, are these clubs doing to find funding? Okay, so that players like Slingers, like GDF, like Police could get, even if it's a match fee. It's difficult, you know, and it brings the league down to 3 teams, maybe 4 if you check Western on a serious day. But to go out and train, the players have lost that desire. Those who are not in the top clubs. with the possible exception of Santos, right? A few players come out at Conquerors at times, but we've got to get them back training. We made a vow in Slingers, no team that not training could come and get less than 5 from us, because we have to make that statement. Because whether you're getting paid, we're not getting paid, this is the elite league of Guyana. And guys have got to come to the league with a standard. We've played some of the teams I could have played. I mean, in fact, if the registration was not closed, I would have registered and played. You know, some of the guys on some teams bigger than me. Where's the pride? But administratively, okay, the administrators of clubs in Guyana have got to get off their laurels and go and find ways to improve their clubs, right? We have all these corporate entities now in Guyana coming for the oil, okay? In the abundance of water, only the fool is thirsty. And I'm also calling on corporate Guyana to focus, okay? You come into the country, you see the resources, help our people, invest in sports, invest in culture. Do not just take the profits from the oil and take it back to your countries. Invest in our people.
And finally, some volleyball news. Now that the regional games are over, all focus is on the national showdown in the second annual Republic Bank One Guyana B Division Volleyball Tournament set to take place on November 1st and 2nd in Georgetown. The Cliff Anderson Sports Hall and the National Gymnasium will be utilized over the 2 days as top teams from across the country converge in the city for the grand finale. With the exception of Region 8, games were played in the other 9 regions with over 1,000 players of all ages, representing a total of 78 clubs and teams. Through to the national playoff in the male segment are Spartans of Mabaruma, Mainstay, Wakapau, Warriors of Bartica, defending champions Hururu, Glasgow Rangers, Classic Ball Blasters and Castrol of Demerara, Port Moran Training Centre and Rollers of Berbice, Oriala and Central Rupununi. On the female side, defending champions Spartans will put their title on the line against Wakapau, Mbaimadai, Pakuri, Glasgow Rangers of Linden, Classic Ball Blasters and Saints of Demerara, Port Moran Training Centre and Rollers of Berbice, Warriors, Central Rupununi and Maruka. Speaking at the launch of the national playoff on Saturday morning, the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson Jr., said the B Division is not just another tournament, but an integral part of the National Sports Academy program.
And what's important for us is widening the pool of talent from which there is a process of the best talent emerging out of that. And why we sat and worked with the Volleyball Federation was so that we can have this national talent development process. When we were there last year and we saw the teams from Region 1 coming down and from other parts, and to show their hunger as well as their passion being displayed, it gave us a true sense of why we are doing what we're doing. And it also shows too that the talent exists. It exists all over. And we wouldn't be doing our job in the best possible way without having tournaments like this.
Apart from the success of the teams and the avenue that is created for talents to thrive, President of the Guyana Volleyball Federation, John Flores, was quite enthused by the impact the tournament has had on communities, serving as a great unifying force.
I remember a grandmother, her daughter, and her daughter being on one team in the Rupununi. Such is the impact of this tournament for this family game of volleyball. And I want to thank these communities publicly for their sacrifice in traveling great distances to be part of this tournament within the regions. This year, we have expanded the finals from 10 to 12 teams in each of the male and female category. And I do suspect there will be fierce competition from some of the tournaments that I have witnessed in the regions. Since last year, Minister and Dr. Boyce, due to us being given the opportunity to see the rural talent available in Guyana, we have included many of these players into our national teams, especially into our IGG on the 18 team, and I'm sure we will have better teams to make Guyana proud in December.
Managing Director of title sponsor Republic Bank, Dr. Toussaint Boyce, said through its social investment initiative, The Power to Make a Difference, the bank has strategically invested in sport as it sees this as one of the most powerful tools of positive change.
Sport does more than entertain. It teaches life lessons that go far beyond the court. In your case, it's a court, such as teamwork, discipline, and resilience. And that's why we're so proud of our partnership with the Ministry of Culture, Youth, and Sport, and in this case, the Guyana Volleyball Association. Together, we believe we're giving very talented young men and women across Guyana a platform to grow, compete, and shine. This year, we're thrilled to be back on board. For us, it isn't just a sponsorship, it's an investment in our youth, our communities, and the future of sport in Guyana. To all teams and coaches, officials, play hard, play fair, enjoy every moment of this tournament. You're not just competing, you're inspiring others and helping to raise the game of volleyball in Guyana.
Based on the tournament format, the male and female categories will be divided into 4 groups of 3, with teams playing against each other in their group. The winner of each group will then advance to the semi-finals. Preliminary games on November 1st will be held at the National Gymnasium and the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, while on November 2nd, the semi-finals and finals will take place at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall. And with that, we've come to the end of the news for this evening. Of course, you can find updates on these and other stories on our website, newsroom.gy, and all social media platforms. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for watching. Be safe. See you next time.